One, two, one, two. All right, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. How you guys doing? Luda, what's up, man? Sharbandur, what's up? Gambo, what's up? Johan, also what's up, man? Yasin, what's up? What's up? Let me do this. All right, so today I thought we are gonna be doing something interesting because I'm kind of excited what the new commanders are gonna be for the new upcoming commander, infantry, right? So today, here I prepared something. So today we are gonna try to guess, kind of like Theorycraft, or kind of like guess what would the new infantry commander look like. I think we are gonna be getting one open field commander and then one garrison commander. So we're just gonna have fun, and then just guess how the new upcoming commander is gonna look like. And then once the new commander gets announced, all the stats and everything gets revealed, we're gonna come back to our guessing and see if we were correct or not, right? So I think this is something fun thing that we can do. So let's do that today, man. In 13 minutes. Before that, let's wait for some people to come in. What's up, Gumbo? Your KVK is going great, right? But this KVK has been going crazy, man. This KVK has been going crazy. I thought the KVK would end in a fast manner, but it seems like... Is this... Hello? Yep. Is this Earth Camp? Yeah. So it seems like the Earth Camp actually came here, and then Fire and Earth are together here in this spot fighting. So because the 2489 actually blocked this Earth Camp here. I thought this would end quite quickly, but Fire Camp is not really losing territory. In fact, they pushed the... I think this is Water Camp, right? I think they pushed Water Camp quite down. Wind Camp, which is 2489, does have quite a bit amount of territory, but this KK is not over, man. Players have already broken 10 billion KP gained this KK already. Let me show you guys the stats. And also I'm gonna be reading the chat real soon, real quick. Give me a second. Let me just show you something. Yep. Yo, look at this. So earlier today, I think I saw this morning or maybe yesterday. So Dimar had actually passed the 10 billion. Now he is sitting at 11 billion KP. I think this just refreshed. And send speed ups 10 billion, and a lot of players are already like 7 billion, 6 billion, 5 billion KP. Man, this KK has been crazy. Total KP gain is 1.1 trillion. Yep, 1.1 trillion KP gained. So compared to 60 GT, this is like half the KP. The 60 GT KK was 60 GT and 77 KK was like so big, but this KK has been also crazy, man. What the heck? Yeah, like Wind camp is been catching up. Water camp also did quite a bit. Yeah, this KK has been crazy. Okay, let me read the chat, man. Random question, what do you think is better for Gaja Cordoba Ring or Greatest Glory? Does Greatest Glory work on ranged commanders? Greatest Glory boosts all type of normal damage. Trust me, it works. I used it and it shows the buff. Just curious if the consistency of 5% all the time is better than the proc. I think so. On average, Ring was giving us around 7% damage bonus. Greatest Glory is like 5%, right? But ranged march can utilize the ring a little bit better. Ranged march can stay on target and keep attacking on the target for prolonged amount of time. So there's a very small chance that Siege will lose the 2-second window of buff that's Ring is provided. So in my opinion, Ring is better than Greatest Glory, but I didn't know that Greatest Glory worked on Sieges. Honestly, for Siege, I would go Horn Drum. Man, I've been seeing some Horn Drum on Siege though. I mean, not I've been seeing, but people have been talking about Horn and Drum build on Siege. I mean, Horn and Drum build does make sense for melee marches when you are running multiple marches, right? But for Siege March, unless you're like running like 3 Siege March, right? Horn and Drum build is a little bit weird. And also, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure like running drums is also like for sieges as well. I mean, the only one commander that does AoE is Gonzalo for siege units. All the other commanders doesn't really do AoE damage. So if we compare the skill damage factor to just like a regular open field march, right? Melee marches, Siege actually does a really low amount of skill damage. So I'm not sure like a Horn Drum build is like a thing. But what I'm sure is a Horn Ring build on Siege is you're not gonna go wrong with Horn Ring. That's what I think. Yeah, bro, this character is insane. Not like GV1, but it's not. Yeah, man, this character has been nuts. We streamed the day 1 of the Kingsland, and I was like, okay, so you know, the bottom 2 camp is winning, so this is gonna end in like in few hours. It's not gonna last long. I said that, but it broke my expectation. I mean, then again, like anything could happen, right? Loda, what's up, man? I'm running many siege, already hit the drum amount, but I'm in the middle of the fighting right now. I think I rate that. Yeah, it's wild. I'm over 2.2 billion KP. I'm not even in the top 100. Yeah, man, this KK has been crazy. 75 and their allies Man, they are just not giving up. They are being very fierce. What are you using to see the stats? Is it free? Yes, it is free. I'm using, let me give you the link. I'm using Proc Kingdoms. It does have a subscription. So if you pay the subscription, I think you unlock the kingdom stats. But individual stats, you can just straight up see. Yo, King Schmuck! What's up, man? Welcome. Let me make you a mod. Do I have Schmuck? Schmuck. I think I gotta add Schmuck. There's no delay, Bilegt reads chat slow. Yeah, there's no delay. I'm just reading the chat very, very slow. Schmuck, please behave before I can ban your ass. Unfortunate. I made Schmuck mod. I don't think you guys can ban each other, right? Hopefully a super strong archer commander like Liu Che or Arthur. Yeah, Archer needs a strong commander now. I think Lilith really messed up with the true damage concept. So Archer needs to catch up. Archer really needs to catch up. So far, Zuglian Herman combo is really good on open field, but it's just Archers gets focused a lot on open field, right? But I feel like the Archers needs a little bit catching up to do. However, the upcoming commander that's gonna be soon arriving, it's gonna be infantry, right? Bonds, what's up, man? Alright, so this KK has been going crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure, man, at this rate, so like they haven't really lost much territory. And they are like they're still touching Ziggurat, man. Or not, but like they're like right around here. This flag is not burning. This flag is being built. Man, this cake is being crazy. Infantry might garrison commander is my guess. Yeah, I'm also think that it's gonna be smite commanders, both the garrison and open field. Alright, 1 minute remaining. Let's do this. So let's start our theory crafting. Okay. Let me set up. Alright, so I have, this is, I prepared beforehand, before starting the stream. But this is one of the like checklist that I did when I did the video on Scipio. So let us start with the open field commander, okay? Maybe after that we can try to guess the garrison commander here, okay? But let us start with the open field commander. And this is what we're gonna do, okay? So we do have like okay, you guys can see, okay? So we do have 7 checklists here. All right. First off is that commander is gonna be AoE, and then we are gonna be guessing the damage factor, and also if it's gonna have proc damage or not, like instant proc damage, stats wise, buff, debuff, and movement speed, right? This is the main stuff that we are talking about when it comes to open field commander. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you guys a question, I guess, starting from the top, right? And you guys say, like, what do you guys think if it's gonna be, okay? So, and then we are gonna put the majority of the, you know, most common answer here, and then we're just gonna build our commander, or like guess what the commander is gonna look like, okay? So this is what we're gonna be doing. And remind you that, okay? Remind you that we need to be very like how to say, realistic, okay? We need to think carefully and be very realistic. We don't want to put in the numbers that we just kind of like you know, like dreaming of. All right, so like let's say for like 2800 damage factor, right? Smite damage factor. So this is kind of like a not realistic number. This is kind of like what do you say? You're kind of like dreaming, right? All right. Anyways, I think you guys get the idea. What if the new infantry commander is similar to Arthur, whereas primary does smite and as a secondary skill damage? Yo, that's also possibility, man. That is also possibility. So let's gather the idea. Let me do this. So here's so first idea is primary smite, secondary skill, right? This is the idea that we're coming up. I also think that this is possibility. Okay, so this random kind of idea, we can do this. So this is also, if it is the case, then the new commander is gonna be really like a versatile commander, and there's most likely that commander is gonna be like one of the meta commanders instantaneously. All right, so let's start from the AoE. Abu Ahmad, what's up, man? Welcome. I think it's gonna be AoE, smite damage, high debuff, no speed buff, mid stats. Okay. Let's start from the AoE. Do you guys think that new smite commander is gonna be AoE commander or single target commander? Abu Ahmad says AoE commander. Conditional AoE? What would be the conditional AoE, Dennis? Kind of like William Wallace. Like when William Wallace is being attacked, he does extra damage to 3 targets, right? AoE probably. Yeah, I also think that it's probably gonna be AoE, right? Most likely the case. AoE but 3 targets. That's Let me do this. Hello? Oh, there we go. Sun Tzu circular scale. Oh man. Yo, we gotta be really realistic, okay? So, I think the circular AoE stuff is only exclusive for archer commanders and maybe leadership commanders for city defense. Alright, so even if we want like circular AoE commander for infantry, I don't think we are gonna be getting that. So let's be realistic, okay? We gotta be realistic. Though since the circular AoE, that's gonna be awesome. Highly possible AoE because William Wallace wasn't. Sun Tzu Prime would be funny. Yeah, I also think that the new commander, there's very high chance that the new commander is gonna be AoE, right? Just like you guys said, William Wallace wasn't AoE, but most of the time, you know, the latest commanders, we are getting AoE. And another reason that this commander might be AoE is that we are getting the new formation Pincer, right? 10% smite damage. So I think the new commander that's gonna come up is gonna be primary user for pincer formation, right? Just like Arthur coming up, and then Arthur is like primary user for the delta formation, right? On open field. So I feel like the whatever the new commander this is, primary user for pincer, and then in order for the pincer to work, he has to be doing some AoE smite damage. They introduced new formation for infantry just like with Delta with Arthur. Yes, man. That is exactly the case. Okay, so the new commander is gonna be AoE. We all agree on that. Now, the question is, the AoE is going to be... I saw from Ihara leaked name Baiki and Ieyasu Tokugawa. No, I think that is not a leaked information. I think that's just ChatGPT auto-generated stuff. I don't think that's the case. I'm not sure if that is gonna be true or not. I also saw that somewhere. I think someone sent me in the chat. Good, next question. Is this gonna be a 3-person or 3-target AoE or 5-target AoE? Someone already said that it's gonna be 3 targets. Morsant already said it's gonna be 3 targets. So do you think it's the new commander is gonna be 3 target or 5 target? Who picks AoE? For sure not 5. Arblade says 3. RX Vert says 5. Sharbandar says 3. As he will mention 2 Japanese names in his latest video, not sure where he got that info. The latest video might have been like April's Fool days, man. So here's the thing. I think Will is in the Lilith content creator program or something. So even if the information is leaked, the content creators are not allowed to leak it more. So maybe Civil was just playing April's Fool Day. More likely 3 if AoE. Was just here to check in. I'll watch the stream later. Have to work a bit. Alright, Arblade, take it easy, man. He will not only get the info, he also got the special inscriptions. Oh man. He will has got some connections. When is the new infantry commander come in? Do we know? We're expecting the new infantry commanders maybe this April or May, somewhere around that. So because it's already in the beginning of April, maybe the details are gonna get revealed in the second half of April. Maybe not, but it is near. 3 with no more than 2300 damage. What if the new infantry has a huge shield factor, let's say 3000? $3,000 shield factor seems very strange though. I mean, so far, if we judge the current, shield commanders, like 1200 damage factor of shield is the maximum, right? Not sure Lilith is gonna breach that 1200 mark and then instantaneously make 3000 shield damage factor. Not sure if they're gonna go too crazy with that. Okay, so most of the people are saying that it's gonna be 3 target AoE. I also think that there's very high chance that this commander is gonna be 3 target AoE. I mean, 5 target AoE is just gonna be way too overpowered. Liu Che is overpowered because he does 5 target, right? I mean, of course he does other stuff, but if you just consider the rest of the other infantry commanders like Scipio, Ragnar, or even Guan, the older commanders, they do 3 target AoEs. So I think that if the new commander is AoE, which is most likely the case, it is going to be 3 target, right? And let me add one point here. The new inf for field is gonna be user for pincer. So I also think that the new commander for open field, the infantry commander, is gonna be more likely user for pincer formation. The pincer is gonna benefit more than arch. So let's just put that point here. You think they will release the skill info mid-April? What if the infantry is designed like Arthur with one side skill and one side smite? Yeah, man, I think that is the possibility. As a primary, he does smite, and then secondary, he is skill damage. Man, if that's the case, oh boy. People might disagree with me, but I think I'm gonna bench I think Ragnar is getting benched if that's the case, but most people gonna disagree with me. Most people might bench Scipio. Wait a second, I'm stupid. So if that commander happens to be secondary skill damage, then Ragnar and then new commander are gonna be a really good combo. And then we can use Scipio and Luce on the open field, and then bench Alex, and then William Wallace, right? But you know, some people might disagree because it comes down to the personal preference. Some people, I mean, you know, still think that William Wallace Luce is best, which is also true. William Wallace Luce is really good, but my preference is that I just value Scipio a little bit more, just because of the AoE debuff. Okay, anyway, let's proceed. Let me read the chat. It's wild, Arthur was January. Don't think infantry can be as late as May, but they didn't mention them with upcoming update. Yeah, that is true. They did not mention anything about that. But we are pretty certain that the next commander is gonna be infantry, right? Unless we are like completely wrong, and unless Lilith surprises us. They will likely leak it in Dubai meetup this Saturday. Oh yes, ever. That is actually a good point. That is actually a good point. There might be a leak there. So the meeting is happening this Saturday. John Wick, what's up, man? Morning, what's up? If the new commander is Japanese as it leaked, I don't think the shield is something well known for Japanese army. I think the current leaked commander that's going around, I don't think that's like real. Wait, the skills are out? No, it's not out. It's not out. I think infantry more likely to be a single target, like for Cavs after 2 cycles. Cav got AoE. Ah. April or May, isn't it too early for infantry? I mean, I don't know. We are expecting the next commander is gonna be infantry, I think. So the last new commander we got was Arthur. Before that, who did we get? Let me go in game. Let's see. Yeah, Arthur Subete, okay, so that was cavalry. Was it Ashur? Ashur and Shajar, right? Every 3 or 4 months for commanders, I guess. Yeah, it seems like they're releasing like a commander like every quarter, or maybe like 4 months. So today we're just having fun, okay? We're just having fun, and we feel like that the new commander is gonna be around very soon, just because the announcement of pincer formation, right? So we are expecting something similar gonna happen, like Delta and then Arthur release. Maybe it's gonna be something similar with the infantry. All right, let's go with the next. Let's try to guess the damage factor. Okay, be very realistic with this, guys. What would be the damage factor of our new infantry commander that we are guessing? So it's doing AoE damage, and we think that it's gonna be 3 target. Of course, there are other people in the chat that think differently, but let's just go with the majority of opinion, right? $2,250. Man, those are really good numbers. I think those are really good numbers. I don't think the damage factor is gonna be high as Ragnar. I mean, Ragnar is like 2,200 plus 600, right? So combined, it's like 2,800. So I don't think it's gonna be higher than that, or even equal with Ragnar. 2,300 and no more than 2,500. 2,500. 2,800. 2,700. Oh boy, you guys are trying to cook like super good commander. Don't you think that they are gonna tune down the new commander just tiny touch back? If the new commander is doing like 2,800 damage, and then it's gonna be AoE, it's gonna be just like Ragnar, right? Then it means that the new commander with pincer formation is gonna just wreck everything. So for balancing purposes, I don't think they are gonna go as high as this, but this is just my opinion, man. Or something like 1250 multiplied by 2 smite in one instance. No, man, that's not gonna work. If that's the case, that turns into combo damage. So combo damage is doing multiple damage in one turn. So that becomes combo damage. So smite damage has to be like one hit. They need to sell pincer formation. I mean, pincer formation is already looking good, and there's a very high chance that pincer formation is just gonna replace arch formation on open field or Liu Che, and then the new commander. And there's a very highly likely chance. In arch formation, the destructive is not good legendary inscription, right? So hopefully with the pincer formation, we're not gonna get something like that. If the new standard is the 2700 plus, say goodbye to all of our resources and speed ups. Arthur is 2800, so I see it possible. Huh. That's a good point. That's a good point. How about 2,200 plus 300 like Ragnar? Damage over time, additional damage over time. That could work. Arthur is that high to balance out Cav being weaker. Infantry already strong, so they won't go high on it. I agree on that, Vert. I kind of think the same. So Bete is 3,000. Yeah, so Bete is doing single target for rallying, right? I guess 3,000 is fine, I guess. 3,000 damage, but 3 target, but each target reduces the target damage by 25% instead of 15. Man, Yatsin, you are cooking some new concept. I don't think they will change the base concept of that. I don't think they will change the 15% to 25% just for this commander. So we are gonna be getting the, you know, each additional target, the damage is gonna get reduced by 15%. It will be high damage. Okay, let me actually do this. Let me do poll. Right now, the opinions are very different. Damage range, right? And then it's 2000 to 2000 blah. Blah. All right. So this is just the range. Give out the votes, guys. What would be the vote? Let's try to guess the range of the damage. It's not a new concept because XY has 25%. Wait a second, I did not know that. Wait. Oh, he does. I never noticed this, man. Wow, I never noticed this. Wow. Okay, that is a possibility. Insert needs a better inscription instead of destructive. That is true. 2k damage and maybe an instant proc. Oh, that's a very good point, Gabriel. Guys, when you are voting, please consider that that new commander might have an instant proc damage. So I don't think if the commander has a really high active skill damage, I don't think that's gonna that commander is gonna have proc damage, right? Bro, all the recent commanders has been like 2700 plus, so I don't see this one being below 2500. I think for balancing purposes, they might go below 2700. Just because infantry commanders are like really strong right now. And if we consider William Wallace, single target, 24,000 damage factor, it doesn't make sense to like make an AoE commander that does more skill damage factor, right? And I imagine that the more smite damage, AoE smite damage we do, it is gonna scale off of this pincer formation really good. So my personal opinion is the damage is gonna be somewhere around like somewhere. Oops. I even think that 2000 might be a possibility. So the damage might be somewhere around this, but this is just my opinion. So 2000 to 2400 is my opinion. I think I should have adjusted the voting. Let me read the chat real quick. Is there any news about when they announce? No, there's no news. We're just having fun and guessing. Doing some guessing, man. Yeah, me too. I didn't know that. Yeah, man, XY I had no idea. Or maybe the new commander like CJ with passive like skill reflect damage. Ooh. Man, if that's the case, that's gonna be interesting as well. Community meetups, so probably announce them, maybe. Lover is smite higher if skill based. Possible they have a dual roll like Arthur skill combo, Shajar skill true damage. Yep. Yo, that's actually a good point. Okay, let me see. So you guys are saying in the middle range, and then most of you guys are saying in the middle range, like 200 to 2250 to 2500. How about we do this? Yo, how about we... Do you guys agree that there is a very high chance that if this commander primary is gonna be smite and it's gonna be skill damage as a secondary? Do you guys agree? Like dual roll, just like Arthur and Shajar. I think you guys agree. There is a very high chance that's gonna happen, right? We also need to think how they would the counter combo attack. Yeah, we can talk about that when we are going to the buffs and debuff section. Again, guys, this is not us making our dream commander. This is us trying to guess the commander, upcoming commander, as realistic as possible, okay? Maybe triple roll with Mighty Healing. Nah, man, that's... Man, there's a very much split opinion. So 52% says, let me just, 52% says this, and then 25,000 plus is 39%. How about we just leave it as this? We're not really like pinpointing down to one number. So 52% thinks that it's gonna be somewhere around mid-range, and 39% thinks that it's gonna be higher damage commander, judging by the latest commanders, right? Let me do this. And the 9% thinks that it's gonna be something like this. I also think that this 2000 damage factor is very feasible for new commander. It's very feasible option. I mean, the new commander has to have some sort of weakness somewhere, right? I mean, he has to have some sort of weakness. 2000 is feasible, but most likely mid-range, right? Let me end the poll. I think the poll result ended. Let me adjust this. 50% and 41% and 8%. All right. Good. Plus shaped AoE. What the hell? Maybe triple pull with Mighty Healing. Triple roll. Oh, I already read that. Plus shift AoE can hit targets left, right. Is it? Are you like? Is it gonna be like that crazy? I think it's just gonna be like cone, right? Just like Scipio or Ragnar. Just gotta say, brother, your field fighting hotkeys video is gold. Really useful, bro. Thank you. Heck yeah, man. Now you are gonna become APM king as well. Yo, ZKX, what's up with the freeze effects? Yo, guys, chill. Just tune it down, okay? We are not fantasizing about the new commander, but we are trying to guess as realistic as possible. So what is up with this freezing effect and everything? And the plus AoE, that's a new stuff. Infantry players want full my AoE. Oh boy. Maybe 2000 damage factor, but no reduction like at the flat. Nah, man, that's gonna be way too much powerful, man. If it's like no reduction, just like at the flat, or Sun Tzu also have a no reduction, right? If that's the case, the damage factor is gonna be like 1200 or something. Maybe like maximum 1500. Not crazy, come on, you guys are being crazy. Okay, so remember what you guys voted today. So you guys have the idea here, right? And once the new commander reveals, we'll see if we were correct or not. So I'll just leave the damage factor as it is, like this. And let's go on to the next section, which is proc damage. So do you guys think that the new commander is gonna have proc damage? My opinion is that the new commander is not gonna have proc damage. If the new commander has proc damage, I mean, he's gonna be way too much overpowered. So again, he has to have some sort of weakness, right? Can you read my comment up top, please? Let me see. 10% chance on a basic attack to cause the alarm effect causes all troops to go back to their cities for 3 seconds. Nah, man, that's... Guys, let's be realistic. Let's behave ourselves, be realistic. Old school says 2400 damage factor A, smite damage, 3 target, 20% health and march speed, slow down on target, 10% on insta proc, the current target. If all infantry take in, 15% less expertise, normal damage after doing damage. That is a very good take on the new commander, but that is a little bit too much overpowered commander. I don't think they're gonna be blessing us with HP stat with this commander. HP stat is very scarce for commander infantries, and I think they might keep it that way. We'll see. The new commander might even have like 10% defense and 30% attack or something. I know this is so bad stat, but it might be the case, man. If the damage factor is very high, they might just nerf us on the stats. But let's talk about the proc damage, man, first. Let's talk about the proc damage first. 600 proc damage if targeted by a ranged attack and pincer formation equipped. Ooh, that's actually a really nice way to counter the siege marches. Realistically, the new formation does fatality. No proc damage, but a proc effect for the enhancement of some sort of when it has a shield. Gives William Wallace some sort of synergy so it doesn't die. Oh, that's actually a good point. So we can talk about that in the buff section. So while having shield, maybe maybe it does like more smite damage. Give me a second. So while having shield, maybe it does more smite damage or damage reduction, right? That could be the case. Let me just note that down. Let me go back to the proc damage section. Let's see. Silence back in the game would be insane. No, man, silence, yeah. Silence is gonna be way too overpowered. I don't think they'd be doing that. When this commander troop is in stronghold, it has 10% chance to confuse enemy troops and stop doing basic attack for 2 seconds. Oh, that's basically like disarm in strongholds. Yo, we're talking about the open field commander first, so that might be a good stuff for the garrison commander. We haven't seen a disarm in a while. Yeah, that might be a good idea for garrison version. Okay, being serious for a second. Since Guan is pretty much benched, can they input the silence on a new commander to hit 3 enemies? Man, so I think that I don't think they are ever gonna release another commander that has a silence. It's just my opinion. So if you think about it, if they release a commander, you know, another commander, right? This guy, that AoE silence, right? Then you're just gonna run Guan with like maybe Scipio or like Ragnar, and then run this new commander again. So you're gonna be running double silence, and that double silence is just gonna be way too overpowered, right? Silence is overpowered in Canyon, so maybe they won't bring it for a while. That might be true. I don't think they ever gonna release another silence. It's just way too overpowered, especially if you have 2 commanders. One will be unbenched. Right? Okay, so we think that there's no proc damage. Yo, John Wick with the super sticker. 10 Buckarina, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate you, man, for the support. So we think that there's no proc damage. Is there any legitimate leaks so far? No, there's none. There's no legitimate leaks. Okay, so we know that one will be open field and one will be garrison. Since they introduced Emilianus, he doesn't really have a natural pair without doing compromises. Perhaps field commander will serve as one. Yeah, that could be a good idea. Bro, again, John Wick, thank you so much for always supporting the channel, man. Much love. Thank you, thank you. This deflect. Okay. This commander troop, when taking damage, have 10% chance to deflect all damage from that hit. Hold on 3 seconds. Yo, so Morsent. I think that actually needs to be an accessory, okay? It's gonna be called like thorn mail or something like that. That might, if that's the accessory, that might be a good idea. Reflecting damage, chance to reflect damage. Like any type of damage, right? But we can also think that that might be the case. So I don't see any proc. Then it says 600 proc damage if they are targeted by ranged attack and pincer cut, but that is very, very too specific. So the commander is not going to be doing any proc damage, just for balancing purposes. Do we agree? Actually, we can like do a poll. Proc damage. Adds proc damage. Poll. Okay, let's check out the result. Poll result. Meanwhile, while you guys are voting, let me grab myself some drink. I'll be back real quick. Alright, I'm back. So 63% says there is gonna be some sort of proc damage. You guys think, isn't it, if he has a proc damage, isn't he gonna be way too overpowered? Like, paired with Liu Jie is just gonna wreck stuff. If there is any proc damage, it will be a low damage factor. I mean, okay, so if there is any low damage proc, there has to be some sort of purpose behind that. Let me guys show you what I mean. Let me hide this for a bit. So we do have a Liu Jie. Liu Jie does have a small amount of proc damage, right? And he only does 300 proc damage. Oh yeah, whenever the troop deals smite damage, the target deals 10% less damage for 3 seconds. So Liu Jie's this proc damage actually has a purpose. So if the commander is doing small amount of proc damage, it has to have some sort of purpose. And same goes with Herman. Where's my Herman? Herman also does small amount of proc damage, right? Yeah, 10% chance to deal extra damage up to 3 enemies, and it's only 200 damage factor. But with this, he is applying the poison, right? Troops hit by this damage are inflicted by 2 stacks of poisons. So if the proc damage is small amount, it has to have some sort of purpose. For example, Scipio's proc damage is very high proc damage, but it doesn't really do anything, right? The same goes with Alex. Alex does have a proc damage, but it's high amount, but it just doesn't do damage. It does reduce the healing, but this is covering because Alex doesn't have active skill damage, right? So it's either gonna be like high amount of proc damage, like maybe 500 plus 3 target, maybe. Okay, so around, if the new commander is gonna have like around 1500 damage factor of proc damage, then it means the skill damage is gonna be on the lower side. It has to have that balancing factor. Axon says amplified AoE based on proximity. Smite hits one target, transfers to other targets. Last target takes least damage, but takes the biggest debuff. If only one target is hit, it takes damage over time. Wow, that's some complicated stuff right there. I don't think that mechanic exists in game, right? I had a random thought, what if the new infantry is like primary smite and secondary combo? Would be interesting for artifact. That does sound interesting, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna leave combo for cavalry, smite for infantry, and then maybe skill damage for archer. Okay, let me end the poll. 62% says there's gonna be proc damage. 62% proc. So here's the thing, okay? Let's do this. If the commander has proc, like you guys says, 62% says, then the proc damage is gonna be high and active skill is gonna be low. So this is the only balancing factor that we're gonna have, I think. I don't think, okay, so I don't think small amount of damage, then I don't think the guy is gonna apply like increased smite damage taken or something like that. That's gonna be way too overpowered, man. That's gonna be just way too. I still think that proc damage on the new commander is gonna be way too overpowered. There's very high chance that no proc damage. That's just my opinion, man. Circular AoE. I don't think it's gonna have circular AoE. Did you put in enhancement when it has a shield? Yeah, while having shield, it could have more damage, does more smite damage or damage reduction or something like that. I hope they bring Archer with shield and AoE. Shield and AoE on Archer sounds really good, man. But shield is kind of like a infantry thing, right? Shield is for shield is not an archer thing. Circle is not an infantry thing too. Don't say anything unrealistic with this game. We can never hope. Yeah, let's try to keep this realistic as possible. Instant proc damage is currently high value and for new infantry. And few infantry commanders already have it. Not sure if it will happen again. I don't know. Yeah, I really agree with you, man. I really don't think that he is gonna have proc damage, instant proc damage. If he does have instant proc damage, it's just gonna be way too overpowered. He's gonna be way too overpowered. I'm hoping so high from Bai Chi, as he nicknamed with Human Butcher. The Bai Chi and other commander leaks, I don't think that those are like true leaks. They are just ChatGPT generated stuff. I think it will be 28 to 2900 single target damage with proc. You mean AoE proc? Let us do this. That's actually good point. 28 single, then AoE proc damage of maybe like 500 multiplied by 3, right? This is still going to be super overpowered, man. This is still very, very strong. The reason why I think this instant proc damage is gonna be overpowered at all is just because of Lucia. Lucia is just gonna pump that instant proc damage so much, so that this commander is just gonna be way too overpowered. Okay, so proc damage. There are many opinions here. It's like 50-50, yes or no. But I did write down the possibilities. Let's go to the stat section. Let's proceed. So what do you guys think about the stat? What it gonna look like? How's it gonna look like? Remember, guys, The commander has to have some sort of balancing factor. Has to have some sort of balancing factor. And infantry doesn't have that much HP, except Scipio, and then 10% on William Wallace. The drain effect on Ragnar is a new thing, right? Yes, it is. It is a new effect. Attack, most definitely. So you're saying it's gonna be like 40% attack and that's it? %15% march speed, 25% health, and 10% smite damage. Oh, the health. I don't think the new commander is gonna have health. The AoE, I mean the open field commander. The open field commander, I don't think he's gonna be, or he or she is gonna be having health. Maybe the garrison commander, right? Maybe the garrison commander, but the open field commander, I don't think HP is gonna be the case. New Zenith is attack, right? Yes. Health and attack and 20% march speed. 20% march speed is a little bit on the fast side, man. Very fast. I'm thinking that, in my opinion, he might even have somewhere around 10% to like 15%. This is the maximum march speed that he gonna get. 20% is way too fast. Ragnar having 10% movement speed is on slower side, right? Ragnar is slower. So 15% is like right in the middle, which is good. But I don't think the new commander will go up to 20%. So Scipio and Ragnar combined, they are like 35%, and William Wallace, Liu Chase combined, they are 40%. I think there's very high chance that the new commander is gonna be like 15%. What you guys think? What about Mighty Shield mechanic? You mean he might have Mighty Shield? William Wallace already have Mighty Shield, so I don't think the new commander will have that. So the idea here is that the new commander is gonna be the pincer formation user, right? That is most very high chance. So the new commander is gonna be utilizing the pincer formation and either gonna pair with the William Wallace or Liu Che, right? So if that is the case, in order to utilize the pincer formation, the active skill damage or the instant proc damage, these combined has to be high enough to utilize the pincer formation. Okay, so most likely the case, the new commander is gonna be doing high amount of damage, but not too crazy, okay? So which is why 3 target, and then most likely around this range, right? I mean, even like within this. Okay, let's do this. So 2250 to 2400. So around this. So if that is the case, if this commander is designed to do a lot of AoE smite damage, then he has to be balanced out on the other types or other sections, like stat wise or buffs and debuffs. He should not do everything, right? Otherwise he's gonna be way too overpowered. 20% HP, 20% attack, 10% march speed, then 10% march speed outside Alliance territory. That is very good suggestion. However, don't you guys think that 20% HP is just gonna be way too overpowered as well? I mean, infantry needs HP, right? If he's getting 20% HP, then it's just way too overpowered. I feel like they are gonna keep the HP deficiency for this commander as well. So what I'm thinking is that it's gonna be either 20% defense and 20% attack, and total stat is gonna be 40%. But if we go for 20% defense and 20% attack, it's gonna be same as Liu Che. And I don't think there's commanders like the stats are similar, right? If it's going to replace Scipio on meta, it's going to have 20% march speed. Mighty Shield on active skill that absorbs and returns 60 to 80% of damage absorbed as a smite damage, right? So that's kind of like similar to true damage. True damage is doing damage as healed, right? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Hey, Arblade, welcome back. Infantry needs HP. They won't give it to infantry, and they give it's going to be like 10% HP and 15% defense. Jonah, I agree with you. Yes, so infantry needs HP, so they will just not give HP to us, man. They will not give it. If like HP is gonna be way too strong for infantry. William Wallace does have 10% HP. I mean, we can think that. I mean, okay, he might have 10% HP and maybe 10% defense. How about this? 10% HP, 10% defense, and then 20% attack. What do you guys think? Which one? The first one or second one? I don't think Mighty Shield belongs to open field. It's most likely in garrison. Yeah, the mechanics that mentioned the damage absorption might be for the garrison commander, right? And also, I think the total stat is going to be no more than 40%. Infantry is in a good place right now. I don't think new field commander is going to be overpowered. Makes it difficult to predict. Yeah, the infantry commander, the new commander is definitely not gonna be as good as Liu Che. Liu Che does everything, right? The new commander is gonna be missing something. He is gonna be missing something. So he might do a decent amount of active skill damage, but then he's not gonna have instant proc damage, right? And he is going to have maximum 40% stat, but he's not gonna have too many HP in that. So it's either 20% defense and 20% attack, or like 10-10-20. I don't think he's gonna get like 40% defense like Ragnar. There's another possibility, maybe like 30% defense and then 10% attack. Does it make sense? Like 10% attack doesn't really make sense, right? But this could be the case. Which one do you think it's gonna have this stat? I think will be better than William Wallace. They cannot make it weaker than this. Yeah, if the new commander is AoE, which is highly likely, then he's already gonna be much better than William Wallace. Like almost instantaneously. On open field, that is. Avoid shifting the meta too much. Yeah. Gotta have that balancing factor, right? The new infantry probably gonna do big debuffs but low AoE damage and get balanced stacks, or it's gonna be stat stick with high damage but no march speed. The second option is most likely the case, Miko. Just we gotta remember the pincer formation. We have to remember the pincer formation. So this guy is gonna be user for pincer formation most likely. And if we think about that, he has to do like higher amount of smite damage factor, right? Which is why AoE 3, and then you guys are leaning towards a little bit higher damage factor. So if that is the case, the other part he has to be nerfed, just because okay, he's doing a lot of smite damage factor, right? So in other departments he has to be nerfed. The stat can be like the usual 40%, but he might not be doing like any buffs or debuffs or something like that. Gotta remember that balancing factor. 30% attack and 20% defense. Yo, that's actually a good suggestion. 20% defense, 30% attack. The total stat is 50% here. That is making this commander a little bit strong. So here's the thing. I wonder if this commander is gonna have like a normal damage reduction, like 10%. Value of attack is not that high. Hmm. 2800 single target, 20% HP, 15% speed, 10% smite, 5+6 AoE proc with 15% defense reduction for every target. This is my expectation. Okay, so you are going to the route of doing high amount of single damage and then doing AoE proc damage. Man, if that's the case, that doesn't make sense. I mean, that's instantly dwarfing William Wallace. Way too stronger than William Wallace, right? If that's the case. Like already doing more than single target and then proc damage. And not to mention 20% HP and 15% movement speed. 15% movement speed is a little bit on slower side, but that's just, I think that's a little bit too overpowered. Doing single target damage and then proc AoE is just, I don't know, I'm too afraid of that. That's gonna be way too overpowered. The new infantry commander is gonna be similar to Arthur. The stats will only apply on the open field. Yeah, that might be the case. That might be the case. William Wallace is bad already. That's true, but are they gonna release a commander that's just like dwarfing, you know, William Wallace, right? Another commander. Like, why William Wallace exists, right? If they do that, it's gonna be weird. Are we gonna see another burger commander? So in my opinion, okay, it's just for simplistic purpose, he's gonna have around this much damage factor, so no more than 2400, but 3 AoE, 3 target AoE, and then he's not gonna have proc damage, just for simplistic purpose. That makes him not that much overpowered, but still he's gonna be good. And stats wise, he's gonna have around like 40%. $500 multiplied by 3. So you are taking consideration of the reduction on every target, just like Philip. I see. But Philip is doing 800 damage, right? Okay. Let me make a poll and let us get some poll numbers on the stats. Stats. What would be the stats? The first option is 20% defense, 20% attack. Second option is 10% HP, 10% defense, and 20% attack, 30% defense, attack. Other option, 20% defense, Okay, let's get the numbers going on the stats. Debuff will probably drain normal damage or defense. Or we might see 2.0. Yo, Sean, what's up, man? Welcome. I don't think they're gonna give us AoE silence. That's gonna be way too overpowered. But the draining of normal damage, it sounds really interesting. I think that could be the case. Let me write that. We also need to consider that this new commander might try to counter combo attack, right? So draining normal damage could be. This new commander might be designed to counter combo as well. So either he's gonna reduce combo or he's gonna be like draining normal to reduce combo as well, right? Most logical would be 2.5k 3 target damage for active commander to pair with Alex or William Wallace. It has to have like maximum 40 total stat. Yes, I also agree. It has to have maximum total 40%. We need Sun Tzu Prime. Yo guys, what if the new commander is actually gonna be Sun Tzu Prime? What if that's the case? If it's Sun Tzu Prime, players will come back. Oh boy. Are they gonna give us Sun Tzu Prime finally? Before GTA 6? Okay, let me check out the poll. 36% says, okay, so these two are very equal. Let me actually eliminate this. We have way too many options here, okay? So I'm gonna just... Nah, man. Actually, let's do this. So this is 14%. This we have 36%. This we have 14%. This we have 14%. No, 36%. Okay, so I'm writing down the vote numbers behind this, so that after they reveal the commander stats, we can come back here and then we can like, yo, we guessed it right or we guessed it wrong, right? We can evaluate our guessing afterwards. Yo, votes are still going. Let's actually wait like 2 more minutes and see how the percentage is gonna change. By the way, guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to leave a like. It's gonna help out the channel a lot, and I thank you guys so much. Okay, let's go back. Ad break is over. If it's gonna be AoE, I think it really lost that, including speed. Yeah, so my idea is that it's gonna have AoE damage, and it's gonna have decent damage, but the stat is gonna be like 40%. It's not gonna have proc damage, and then movement speed is gonna be like 10 to 15. So he's gonna be a little bit slower. Not too much stat there, no proc damage, but he is doing AoE damage, right? I think that's gonna be a pretty good balancing factor. In buffs wise, I don't know. maybe like provide some sort of damage mitigation or something like that. So that was my initial idea. But today we are theory crafting and guessing the new commander together, so we'll do it together. Infantry means like, we need this. Imagine getting Sun Tzu Prime and in the next Archer release, Imhotep Prime. Oh boy. Nah man, I don't think they are gonna release Imhotep many times soon, right? But I do think that Sun Tzu Prime might very well be very close, actually. It's been requested a lot, so they might give it us. As long as he does AoE smite damage, that's already win. Yes, yes man, that is the absolute truth. And again, there's a very high chance that he is going to be doing AoE smite damage just because of the pincer formation, right? We gotta remember that they are releasing pincer. So he is going to be a user of pincer, and when pincer shines is AoE smite damage. If he is not doing AoE smite damage, then arch formation might rival pincer formation. So that's just not gonna make any sense. And Lilith does very little mathematical error in their balancing department. They're really good balancing commanders mathematically. They're really good. All right, let me end the poll and gather the results. Let's see. Oh my god, 10% HP, 10% defense, and 40% attack is now 33%. You guys changed your mind. This is 28, 23, and then 14. Okay. All right. So 10% HP, 10% defense, and 20% attack. This is actually a really nice stat, honestly. Really, really nice stat. Do you guys think that he's gonna have normal damage reduction or skill damage reduction? Let me start another poll. Will he have which one he the normal damage reduction, skill damage reduction, and here is like none. All right, I'm starting another poll. Let's talk about the normal damage reduction, skill damage reduction, or nothing like that. My take here is he might have a normal damage reduction. We also think that he might try to counter a combo attack, like Arthur on open field. So there might be a chance that he has a normal damage reduction. Maybe like 10%. Or maybe even 15%. If it's countered, it has to have 10% normal damage reduction. Yeah, right? 10% or maybe like even 15%. Combo attack reduction. Combo attack reduction is isn't it a bit too specific? I also thought about maybe he has combo attack reduction, but it might be a little bit too specific. 10% all damage reduction is way too much, man. That's just instantaneously overpowered. 10% all damage reduction equals around like 20 to 25%. like around 25% HP. 25% HP stat, so 10% all damage reduction is just way too overpowered. Just way too much. I'm thinking is that it's gonna be like 10 to 15% normal damage reduction. Counter combat tech. Liu has it. No, Liu reduces, you know, that target deals 10% less damage, right? If smite damage hits. You're talking about this, right? The target deals 10% less damage, right? Liu has skill damage reduction, but this is not the like all damage reduction. This is just debuffing that current target. So which is not the case. 10% damage reduction, just like Sun Tzu. It is going to be way too overpowered. Infantry. So you're talking about something like this, right? Damage reduction, 10%. I agree, 10% all damage. No, man, you guys, yo, 10% all damage reduction is way too powerful on a commander, man. He's gonna go crazy if he has 10% damage reduction. So here's the thing, if he has 10% reduction, he's not gonna have any stats at all. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe like 20% attack and that's about it. But 10% all reduction is just way too much. It's all aligned, bro. Since Prime 10% all damage. So you are already expecting it's gonna be Sun Prime, huh? Sun Prime gonna have damage. Well, okay, so if this command is gonna be Sun Prime, yeah, well, I mean 10% all damage reduction, okay, but he's not gonna do. Yo, guys, wait a second. What if it's Sun Tzu Prime and then 10% damage reduction, then like 15% smite damage bonus, then like 15% march speed, and then like 2400 damage per target. Yo, what is this? What if he's gonna be like something like this? I'm dreaming Sun Tzu Prime with 20% HP and 10% all of them. Oh man, no man. That is just way too much, man. Nah. Oh, guys. So, I think Sun Tzu Prime... Wait a second. So, don't you guys think that Sun Tzu Prime is gonna be mainly for garrison, not open field? Right? So this might be like the garrison stuff. So if it's garrison, there could be a possibility like 10% damage reduction and 20% HP or something. If it's garrison. If it's garrison. Sun Tzu Prime would be skill damage commander with circle AoE. Okay, so if it's gonna be Sun Tzu Prime, then most likely the case he's gonna be for garrison commander, right? And then most likely the case he is gonna be someone who's gonna get paired with Gorgo. Gorgo giving us infantry attack and normal damage, 30% HP bonus, so Sun Tzu might give us 10% damage reduction and then maybe like defense or something like that. Because if he is gonna get paired with Gorgo, there's just too much HP here. Again, we gotta think about the balancing factor. Smite damage, normal attack, skill damage reduction. Gain mighty absorbing shield. Okay, you guys are saying 45% says normal damage reduction. 38% says he's gonna have skill damage. Okay, here we are talking about the new open field commander. Okay, so we just quickly talk about Sun Tzu, but let's go back on track. Let me do this. So normal damage reduction, you guys says 43% says normal damage. Skill damage reduction 38%. And none 19%. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll. So very high chance of he's gonna have like normal damage reduction. Oh boy, there's just many options here. There. Okay, regarding buffs and debuff, what do you guys think he's gonna have? Buff and debuff. What are we cooking, my guys? Come on. So again, remind you that this is not our fantasy dream commander. It is, let's keep it very realistic. Okay, high probability of commander. So what would be the buff and debuff? We gotta consider that he might be paired with William Wallace or Liu Che, right? So there might be some sort of synergy. Most likely he's not gonna reduce movement speed. He might not even have any debuff. He just straight up do the damage and might not even have any debuff or something. Attack debuff. Ooh, that sounds good. We already have a defense debuff from Ragnar. Wait. What do you mean? Ragnar has a attack debuff, right? Yeah, attack drain. Defense bonus, normal damage reduction, march speed. Yeah, Ragnar has attack debuff, not defense debuff. So maybe this, hold on, so is it gonna make sense that he is gonna reduce defense? I don't think, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure if he's gonna be reducing any stats. They give only for garrison inf commander circular AoE. Circular area in open field is archer thing. Yep. I mean, circular AoE is like really archer or like a leadership garrison thing, right? I don't think infantry, even if he is garrison, I don't think he's gonna get circular AoE. Skill damage reduction debuff. They've been hitting skill damage lately. You think? How about like, I think the debuff is like, okay, if he's gonna have debuff, how about deal less normal damage? He might be here for counter combo attacks. We have to remember that he's here to counter cavalry and counter combo attacks. So maybe he applies a debuff that the target is dealing a less normal damage. Hey bro, you're one of my favorite content creator. Thank you, man. Which is better, Scipio LC or LC Alex as one infantry march? If you have only one infantry, I would choose Scipio LC. All the way Scipio LC. And then only one infantry in your murder ball marches. Scipio is gonna be providing 3% HP debuff, right? So Scipio LC is gonna perform better than LC Alex, and then they are also very good team player. These two. Super good team players. Scipio still has really good stats, man. Really good damage. 2000 damage factor is on the low side, but he does have proc damage. And he also has really good movement speed. Scipio is really good. It's gonna be Sun Tzu Prime, he's gonna have long beard. Troop hit by active skill take 10% normal damage or 2. You mean troops hit by active skill deal 10% less normal damage, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. So minus 10% less normal damage. This might be a thing. This actually sounds quite good. This actually sounds really nice. Minus 10% less normal damage for 3 seconds. So can we agree that he's not gonna have any buffs, but he is gonna have this debuff? Yo, this sounds good. I think this makes perfect sense. Like minus 20%, minus 10% deal less damage for 3 sec. Right? Yo, this makes perfect sense. This is gonna counter combat attack. This is so good. And we cannot make it beyond 10%. Like 20% is gonna be way too overpowered. This is not good. %10 is good. Because if we make it like a 20%, then this commander is gonna be super good for swarming garrisons, right? Garrison or rallies. So 10% is, I think, is good. Or maybe it can be like when field troops. Maybe it can be like a minus 10% deal less normal damage for 3 seconds, and it's only gonna apply it for field troops. You gotta remember that. Cannot give any more percentage if we have this type of debuff, otherwise this is gonna be broken for swarming targets, right? I did Scipio LC and I got 5531 Ragnar from Commander Swap. Now I'm just waiting for new commander release before I get the 4th commander. That would make it must invest because of swarm stuff. Yes, this is gonna be so broken for swarming, so we gotta be careful. But this does make sense to counter combat attack, right? Rage engine like Sensu. I think this commander is gonna be like, let me write this. It's gonna be infantry versatility and smite. I think it's gonna be something like this. Agree? Smite talent have rage engine. Smite talent doesn't really have rage engine. If we go here, I mean, we do have the ambitious, which is, you know, getting 9 rage per our basic attack, but unlike the skill talent tree, Smite doesn't have a rage engine. They rejuvenate, right? But this is good. This is good enough. It's better than the attack talent tree, honestly. Attack talent tree does have this, but it's when you are getting hit, right? When you are getting attacked. So this is not really gonna work on open field that much. It's not being used that much. However, the Smite talent tree, this ambitious, is very good on open field. You might have infantry versatility smite. This is very high chance. Very high chance. Also, we gotta think about pincer. We really gotta think about pincer. This guy is gonna be user for pincer. That's for sure. Bringing myself a drink. I'll be back 1 minute. I'm back. If new commander is Sun Tzu Prime, his skill is whole screen flash like insane. Flashbang? Man, that's gonna be next level. Light or fight talent? Oh yeah, whenever troops does have deals smite damage, it generates no, all troops hit by this loses rage, right? So this is like reducing the rage. It's not like a rage engine, right? So smite talent doesn't have like regenerate. All zoomed in fighters will be fine. Okay, so do we all agree that something like this might be a possibility? But he's not gonna have any debuff. I mean, he's not gonna have any buffs. Maybe it's like maybe he's gonna have like 10% more smite damage. Maybe he's gonna deal something like this. What do you guys think? Like 10 to 15%. It's kind of like deals more skill damage in skill damage commanders. Let me show you. Yeah, like a skill damage bonus, right? But it's for smite damage. I mean, yes, if we give us the normal damage, where is that? Attack bonus. Yeah, normal damage bonus, yeah. We could give normal damage bonus, but how about we do like smite damage bonus with the pincer formation? I think it will definitely have a smite damage, yeah. Yeah, it's very high chance, right? Because of the pincer. What if it has like only 2k damage factor and defense reduction debuff to counter Cav? Cav gear already missing the defense. Gotta think about this. Though commanders who applies defense debuff is currently Nevsky and then Herman, right? Let me double check. Right? The current meta commanders. Okay, skill damage taken increased and then yeah, 20% defense reduction. 2 seconds. Are they gonna give us more defense reduction commanders? Is that gonna be the case? Even though cavalry gear is missing many defense, cavalry stat is very balanced. So overall, with the gear, cavalry stats becomes like the defense and HP becomes equal. So it doesn't matter if you reduce HP or defense for cavalry. They're like very balanced. I guess like if you add the commanders, cavalry commanders, HP stat actually goes higher, I guess. Yeah. Yo, I'm Tala, what's up, man? I saw you running around the field. Smite damage bonus sounds good. My LC will be parting. Yeah, smite damage bonus might be the case, right? Like normal damage bonus is gonna be too much, right? Because your white damage is also gonna get increased, right? So for the purpose of pincer, smite damage, maybe like more smite damage and that's about it. And then he's gonna be doing like a minus 10% less normal damage debuff to counter combo. Man, it's gonna take me a month to fix my sleep schedule after this kick. But you guys are having a great kick, man. I think it's worth it. Active debuffs don't stack with each other, and Herman debuff is only for one target. Yes. Nevsky is also only for one target. So if his active skill is gonna apply a defense reduction, it's not really gonna stack. But that's just way too many defense reductions, I think. I don't think he's gonna have like any crazy like that. Most likely the new commander, like I mentioned, he's gonna be primarily focusing on doing a little bit more smite damage. And he's gonna be user for pincer formation, and the rest of the like stats and everything is just gonna be like mediocre. That's what I think. New infantry commander will be AoE with silence calling. Nah, man. If we get another silencing commander, that is just way too overpowered. It is not going to bench Guan. It is actually going to unbench Guan. Think about it, running 2 silence commander on open field. People are now really gonna be casting their skill. So I'm just gonna unbench my Guan and run my Guan with either Guan Scipio or Guan Ragnar. Most likely Guan Scipio. And then I'm gonna be running the new silencing commander with LC or something like that. And just run 2 silence commander. Just imagine, that's just gonna be way too overpowered, right? Which is why I don't think they will ever introduce another silencing commander. And I also think that they will not ever introduce another AoE HP reducing commander, such as Scipio. Or it's gonna take a long time before they do that, because it's just way too powerful. Silence is overrated these days, all about instant proc now, not active skills. Silence is still, man, it's still very powerful. 2300, 3 target AoE with 10% normal damage reduction, 2 to 3 seconds. 10% speed, 10% smite damage, 20% defense, 5% damage to Cav. This would be this now. Oh, that is actually a very good suggestion. That's very good suggestion. Okay, I quite literally copy pasted your comment or chat. That is good suggestion. It's very getting close to our imagination, right? 10% speed is actually, yeah. In Haro video in Chinese server announcement about this upcoming new patch, they actually did say the commander names. Yo, guys, is that true? Because we have to remember that April's Fool's Day, yeah, wait, new infantry commander leaks. No, man, that's April Fool's Day, man. That's gotta be April's Fool Day. This is April's Fool Day, man. I want 20% March speed. I hate my slowest Ragnar Scipio. March. I don't think they will give us 20%, man. We have to have something that's like balancing and nerfed. We'll see. So 15%. Are you playing chess? Not right now. Like, not recently. If you want AoE, it should be slow. Alright. So, we pretty much theorycrafted our new commander. This is our guess. And whenever there is going to be the details revealed, we are gonna revisit our guess and, you know, see how close we got. Or like how far we got. It's gonna be interesting. So we think that the new commander is gonna be AoE. And then he's gonna be doing 3 target. Damage to 3 targets. And the damage factor is most likely gonna be like between 2250 to 2400. But you guys also think that the damage factor might be higher, which might be the case. Also, 60% of the chat thinks that he is gonna have a proc damage, but I really don't think that he is gonna be having that. If he's gonna have higher damage factor 3 target AoE, then he's not gonna have instant proc damage. We have to like balance things out, right? Or he can have like something like this. Okay, so or something like this, or he do 300 proc damage and then it applies minus 10% normal damage debuff, right, you guys? Or he's gonna have like really small damage, instant proc damage, just like Liu Che, and then the target is gonna deal minus 10% normal damage debuff. So this 10% normal damage debuff is being talked here, right? And it's it's only gonna apply to field troops. Okay, we gotta remember this. So this debuff is only gonna get applied to field troops. This might be the case, right? Maybe. This cannot apply to everything, otherwise the swarming action is gonna be like nightmare. In Garrison, we need Leonidas Prime. Gorgo is too lonely. Oh, that's also a very good idea. That's true, man. Leonidas is also a good defender, right? Aldo says 2400 3 AoE. I also think that 2400 and then 3 AoE. That's my guess as well. 30% defense or HP. 30% defense is highly likely. HP is not so much. 15% march speed is highly likely. Proc smite of 200 with cooldown. Regarding debuff, something like Ash expertise but in reverse. Minus 20% normal damage for X second or skill damage. Yo, that's actually a good idea as well. There you go. Your chat has been copy and pasted. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We have basically guessing or theory crafted the new commander. And whenever the new commander, again, the details gets revealed, we are either gonna be right or we are gonna be wrong, right? So we can come back here and we can roast ourselves for being wrong. Or we can congratulate ourselves for being super accurate. Okay? Which is why we're doing this. LC already has 5 target area. I think it will be 2400, 3 target with more damage to slow the enemies so that it goes well with LC maybe. And LC has 20% attack and defense, so probably 20% HP and 30% attack. That is really good thinking. That's actually really good thinking, Can, but I don't think they will give us HP that like leisurely. Lilith likes to starve infantry with HP. It wouldn't be surprised if it has a shield synergy to go with Wallace. Yo, speaking of Wallace, 10 to 15% smite damage, or it can be like when shield active, right? So it can be straight up 10 to 15% deals more smite damage, or whenever shield is active, whenever you have a shield, you will gain this much buff. So it also could make sense. I feel like they're going to do something special with this one. We will see, man. Also irrelevant, but I'm the same guy asking for Zenith on Discord. Ah, when do you think it will come around? Maybe... Let me see. Yep. So Zenith of Power is coming in like a week or maybe 2 weeks. Very close. I'm just checking the... So we are having the update on 10th of April, which is in like 2 days. So there are a bunch of optimization and everything, but we do have the Zenith of Power. It's not shown here, so maybe not this week, but maybe next week. So in the middle of April. So Zenith of Power is very near. So about a week it drops. Yeah, it's gonna be about a week. You think this new infantry will synergize well with William Wallace? Yes. I think it's gonna synergize well with William Wallace. And also it will be very good synergize well with Luce as well. I have 2 big upgrades in 10 days, so I don't know if I should cancel and restart. Upgrades in 10 days. Okay, so just wait, man. You still have 10 days. So just wait and see if it's gonna get completed during the Zenith of Power. You don't need to cancel right now because you still have 10 days, right? Everything is good with Liu because Liu is too good. That is so true, man. Luce is a beast. Alright, anyways, guys. I think I'm gonna be ending this stream right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream, man. Thank you again for so much for the support, and we are gonna be redirecting you guys to someone else. Akina's streaming, so I'm gonna redirect you to Akina. Make sure to say hello on behalf of us. And then, again, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, wait a second. Take a screenshot right now. Take a screenshot. This is what we cooked today. So take a screenshot. Alright? And then, again, once the details gets revealed, we are gonna check if we were right or wrong. All right. Bye-bye.